The new Honda Hornet 750 with a totally new constructed inline 2 engine, inline 2-cylinder engine. Yeah, how this bike works, how the engine behaves, whether the narrow 160 rear tire improves the handling or not, and much more to say about this new naked bike, so please stay tuned.
The Hornet is dead. Long live the Hornet. Apparently the shockwave over simply letting such legendary names as Hornet or Transalp die has finally reached the people responsible at Honda. So it's all the nicer that the Japanese are bringing both models back on stage in 2023, although with some changes. The Hornet, for example, was always equipped with a 4-cylinder engine as CB600 Hornet and CB900 Hornet. But the basic principles remain the same. The Transalp is still an accessible, practical touring enduro, and the CB750 Hornet, which is the subject of this test, is a potent, handy naked bike. At least that's what the information in the first press release led us to expect. But now it's over with assumptions and forecasts, because I was finally able to find out during the first test whether the plan of the Japanese really works out that way. The data on paper already led expect a lot from the completely newly designed 755 cubic inline 2-cylinder engine with crank pin offset, with 92 horsepower. The new Hornet 750 already scratches damn close to the magic 100 horsepower, which almost all mid-range naked bikes squeeze off at least. It was interesting for me, however, that this power is available at a relatively high 9,500 revolutions per minute. And also the maximum torque of 75 Nm is only available at 7,250 revolutions per minute. So how powerful can this engine be? Whether it's due to the ride-by-wire system or the crank pin offset doesn't matter in the end. But the CB750 Hornet goes to work really fine and certainly sufficiently potent even from very low revs. Already starting from 2,000 revolutions something goes on so correctly, and the turning out functions in such a way as it was to be expected on the paper already. Toward end of the speed range, the new 3/4 Hornet increases again strongly and lets the sporty heart beat faster. Nevertheless, it is surprisingly rare for the engine to hit the rev limiter. It is too powerful down low, so it is simply not necessary to go to the limit. The relatively low weight of 190 kilograms with a full tank is clearly helpful, as is the quickshifter and blipper, which allows the gears to be changed at lightning speed and without any effort. Finally, even the exhaust sound can be heard. A sonorous, pleasant roar when stationary and a racy roar while riding. Some larger volume bikes sometimes don't manage that so well. And for all Tyrrell fans it should also be mentioned, the stationary noise of 94.2 dB is by no means too high. The handling of many mid-range naked bikes is defined by wide handlebars and a relatively low weight. But for the rear tire, the 180/55/17 format seems set. Admittedly, even these machines are usually handy and maneuverable enough, but the new Hornet 750 with its comparatively narrow 160 rear tire shows that it makes sense to go for the narrower tire even one class higher. At best, the slim appearance can be criticized, otherwise the 160 tire has only advantages. The new Hornet 750 turns as one could wish, but remains stable and always well controllable. The choice of suspension is also interesting. The 41mm Showa USD front fork is not adjustable, and the rear monoshock is only adjustable in spring preload. But the Japanese not only make a good compromise between sportiness and comfort, they also give the Hornet 750 unusually long suspension travel with 130mm in the front and 150mm in the rear, which proves to be helpful on bumpy tracks and bad roads. I won't say that a Hornet 750 can replace a touring enduro, but for a naked bike it's pretty damn comfortable. I can't criticize the fact that it would not too much under braking. It remains controllable and stable even under hard braking, whereby the brake can actually grip quite hard. The 296 double-disc system with radial 4-piston calipers from Nissan are amazingly sharply tuned, which is quite accommodating to a sporty driving style. The seating position, on the other hand, goes in the direction of comfort and an immediate feel-good factor, which is what beginners want to find. At 795 mm, you are definitely not enthroned too high and the handlebars are in a comfortable position. If you count the new Honda Hornet 750 among the mid-range nakeds, the technical equipment is quite acceptable, if not even more than usual. For example, an engine brake control is not often found in this class. However, if you compare it to bikes in the upper 2-cylinder entry-level class, the new Hornet is uniquely well equipped. ABS, 4 riding modes, triple adjustable and disengageable traction control, triple adjustable engine brake, 5 inches color TFT display with 4 adjustable views, and even at a small extra cost of just under 300 euros, an up and down quickshifter that can even be adjusted only with the not too sexy looking steel box swing arm, and the non-adjustable fork does the cost pressure become noticeable. However, the price tag fits the Hornet perfectly, at just a few euros above the far less well-equipped and weaker competitors such as the Kawasaki Z650 and Suzuki SV650, and even cheaper than the Yamaha MT-07. The Hornet should actually be a no-brainer. The Triumph Trident 660, which has so far established itself as the best-equipped entry-level bike, is even more expensive. And the Aprilia Tuono 660 wants to play among the better mid-range bikes anyway, and like the rest, the pack is several, or better many thousands more expensive. Honda has found a nice niche with the new CB750 Hornet, in which another manufacturer has already launched a model. The Suzuki GSX-8S is trying in a similar way to establish itself above the entry-level 2-cylinder models with the potent inline 2-cylinder. A closer comparison will show who is the queen in the newly invented intermediate segment. In terms of price, the truly affordable Hornet is already the absolute winner.